All right, hey everyone, this is Greg and Dawn with Truth Hunter's Quest, and today we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to talk about our experience and our opinions on home ownership. Now,
American Dream or American Nightmare?
yeah, American Dream or the American Nightmare. We're not trying to discourage anybody from buying a house, and actually it's not really discouraging, but we're just going to cover a few things that we think you should think about
Exactly.
when you purchase a house, and things that we have come across in owning our houses. And so maybe the first thing that you might want to consider when you decide that it's time to buy a house, do you want to buy a new one or do you want to buy an old one? I think you get different benefits whichever way you decide to go. Possibly a new one, yes, you may spend a little more money.
True.
To purchase it.
A lot more money in AFW.
And you know here in the at least in the Fort Worth metroplex that I've noticed, and I'm sure it's countrywide maybe, it just seems like they don't build smaller houses that much.
No, they're big old suckers.
They always seem to be big. My house is only just under 1,500 square feet.
Mine's 1,960.
And but I mean, yeah, I think 1,700.
Well, if you're a married couple, 1,200 would be great.
Yeah,
because you're paying for space you don't even use.
but I look at the new houses, and I'm telling you, here in Fort Worth, especially North Fort Worth, is growing like crazy. There's all kinds of houses being built
Everywhere.
and
Everywhere.
to us they look big. They look like they probably started around the 2,400 square foot.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And so that, anyway, those are things you want to think about first. Buy new, buy old. Older houses, you might find a little better deal. You can always look around and see if you can find some foreclosure houses.
That's
you might
good.
find a good deal. That's my house. It was foreclosed. And I think at the time I got a pretty good deal on it. But in the long run, on an old house, you may run across repairs, things that need to be fixed, things that need to be done before you move in maybe, or things that may pop up shortly after you move in. I had some issues. And so buying a house, it's not just buy, move in, and everything's great.
Not even.
I mean, you may be good for what, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I bought mine home new, and it was about 6-7 years we had a slab leak. And then slab leaks are expensive. We got lucky though; they were able to fix ours from the outside. And then first thing you had was your electrical, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably three years after I moved in, I started having some electrical issues. I had to have the whole circuit box replaced, all new circuitry, because the older houses couldn't handle all the modern appliances, all your cell phones, and everything needs to be charged these days.
Yes, everything's electric. Your range, everything that used to be gas is now electric.
Yeah, so back in the 80s when this house was built, they didn't think about all that stuff at that time. So anyway, I had to have my electrical box updated because it couldn't handle a lot of the newer appliances and stuff that are all out on the market now and what everybody is used to living with. So that started out, that was about almost $3,700 right there.
That was in 1990 money?
Yeah, and that was 3 years after I moved in.
So you can figure you could triple that price now, pretty much. 2.5 times it.
And my next thing, that wasn't really too much longer after that, I had to replace one side of my fence, and learn to do some of the stuff yourself. It'll definitely save you some money. And me and a buddy of mine did replace that fence. I think at that time, poles, wood, everything that we needed, I spent maybe $600 just doing about a 40-foot length of fence for the backyard.
That was in 1990 money.
And that was only one side, So you gotta think about those things between new houses, old houses. New houses, you're already there. I'm sure that brand new fence is all in the purchase price of the house.
Like mine, it wasn't. I had to put my lawn in and my fences in, all the way around my house. I don't remember what it cost, and I don't want to think about it.
Another thing that when you're looking at buying a house that you really need to consider is the house you're looking at in an HOA neighborhood or not? I'm sure can read all kinds of horror stories about HOAs. They do serve a purpose, and for a lot of parts, it's good, but it is an extra fee that you pay sometimes per month. Sometimes it's quarterly.
Could be an extra $100, $200 a month.
It could be yearly.
More than that, based on where you live.
Yeah, my sister had an HOA that she lived in Austin, and she said it was only like $25 a month. That's not really much.
No, they maintain the beauty of the neighborhood,
But some of these new neighborhoods that are popping up, and depending on what zip code you're living in, they can get fairly expensive. And the HOAs do have, make sure you read the rules, understand what they require, because some of those are pretty picky.
You'll hire yourself a lawyer.
They're down to what kind of plants you can plant in your front yard.
And the color of them too, right?
Sometimes the color, maybe what color can you paint your house on the outside? Can you even put a storage unit in your backyard? Sometimes they won't allow that.
True that.
Where do you put your trash cans? Some of those, the HOAs, they might require them in the backyard, hidden from view, so you can't see them from the front. But and then how tall your grass is, what kind of grass you can grow. Do you have to have 2 trees in your front yard?
You got to keep your trees trimmed up.
There's all kinds of rules and regulations, so make sure you know the rules and regulations of an HOA if you decide to go that route. And if not, then you find a neighborhood that's not an HOA.
Check out the neighborhood and see what the houses look like.
Yeah, what do they look like?
Maintain.
Are there rental houses next door?
Rental, yes.
I've got a lot of rental houses in this neighborhood that I live in. Do those people keep up with the appearance of the house?
See, rental people usually don't care.
A lot of them don't.
Yeah, then you devalue the property values. But then again, your taxes might go down.
So, HOA is one. Insurance. Let's talk about insurance for a sec.
Yes.
Insurance is a big expense, especially here in Texas. With the heat during the summertime, if you live down towards the coast, you're going to pay flood insurance.
Hurricane insurance.
It can get expensive pretty fast. Up here, I'm paying $3,400 a year.
I paid 36, almost 37.
So.
And I was paying about 10 when I first started.
So insurance, and even if you pay off your house, you are still going to have an insurance cost.
Yeah, because you got a big investment. You need to have something to back it up.
And for those of you brand new, maybe the younger generations who are starting to look at houses, in order to secure a loan for a house, your loan provider is going to require you to have full coverage insurance on your house.
Yep.
So that's another expense. Here's another big one: property taxes.
Oh, good Lord.
And you know, property taxes vary across the country and across the zip codes that you live in.
Yeah.
The ones here, let's just say, the property taxes in my zip code in my neighborhood are running around $4,000 to $5,000 a year.
See, I was paying 52, but it turned 65, now it's at 45. And I used to pay like 1,200 when I first moved in.
So consider the bigger the house, the more square footage the house,
Very good point.
the more your property taxes are gonna be.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's something that doesn't go away. If you pay off your house and you think, man, the last payment, my house is paid for, it's all mine.
Sort of.
You still have property taxes
And insurance.
and insurance.
Yes.
Let's say just in my experience, so 4,000 plus the 3,500 in insurance, that's 7,500 a year that we're gonna pay.
Then if you use your insurance also, you could have a 1% or 2% deductible based on the value of your home. So you're out $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 out of pocket before you get repairs done.
That's right. So, and expenses, just like we talk about, the repair, maintenance expenses, and then other expenses, utilities. You're gonna have to pay electric, gas, water,
You put that in your budget.
your internet, cable bill. So all these things add up. So these are all things to consider when you're buying a house. How much can you afford, and how much do you have in your budget?
You need to figure you're going to budget at least 30 to 35% of your salary for just for this stuff, at least.
So you know, like I'm looking at maybe maybe 2 to 4 more years to pay off the house, but in 2 to 4 more years, how much more is the property tax going to go up?
On the insurance.
And the insurance, it goes on me. It goes up. It seems like any $200 to $400 a year.
About 5 to 10%, something like that.
So yeah, so I am still, even though I own the house, almost those two, property taxes and expenses, that's going to be almost as much a month just for those two as the house was when I first bought it. So you still got to pay. You're still going to have to make these payments.
Well, then they say, well, you got equity in the property, so you made money off of it, but you really didn't. Like my house cost me $92,000. After paying it off with interest and everything, it was almost $500,000. So, but first, then I still got something. What else
Yeah.
I got there?
So you know, these like I said, these are just, we're not trying to discourage house buying, and I like my house. I am kind of glad I bought it over renting an apartment. I lived in an apartment for 6 years before I bought the house.
I'd rather have an RV myself.
I'm just saying it does cost money.
Yeah, it's continuous, and that ain't all.
So
You got other things. What else we got there? Maintenance?
well, yeah, I mean, own a house, if you own a house or you're buying a house, expect these things to come up. They're gonna pop up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Your fences, just like I said, I had to replace part of mine. Pretty much in the time I've been in this house, that whole fence has been replaced once already.
Mine about 4 times.
Plumbing issues.
Oh, Lord.
Something's gonna pop up eventually. Okay, they don't.
Backed up drains and
Backed up drains, the ground, and depending
Oh,
on where
shifting,
you live, the
yeah.
ground shifts, your pipes crack. You know, it will happen. You just don't know when. It can. If you buy a new house, you might be good for 10 years or so before a plumbing issue
I
pops up.
had an issue where we had a drought and a tree in my front yard grew into my sewage line in the front yard and busted it. And they had to get a little bitty backhoe out there and dig it up. It cost me about $1,500. This is the early 2000 money.
So other maintenance issues that are going to pop up, you know, if you got trees in your yard, you've got to keep those trimmed.
Those limbs break, fall on your house, fall on your neighbor's house.
I mean, and it's not like you're gonna trim them in every year, but
No,
every 2 or
no.
3 years you might have to get out there and trim the leaves back, especially if they're growing around power lines and stuff like mine are.
Are you really?
You got a lawn care. Are you gonna buy your own lawnmower, or are you gonna hire a service to do it?
Do like I did when we first bought our house. I took my wife to Sears and I said, which one of these lawnmowers you want? Because she liked to work outside and I don't. She did it too. She did a good job. Can't do it no more. I'm too old.
Me personally, I like getting out there and just working out in the yard.
He's crazy.
Except when it gets to be like 100 degrees out here in the summertime or more. Then it's pretty hot.
We had a cold front the other day, 92. He was out there cutting grass.
Electrical problems. Electrical does not really pop up very often.
not too
You're probably good there.
You did on when you moved in. But
Yeah.
I don't think I really had any electrical issues, and I've been in this house, what, you're 39 years now? So.
Another one is your air conditioning unit.
Oh, yes.
You will eventually have to replace one, depending, you know, if you buy a brand new house, brand new air conditioning units, you're probably good for 15
20
to
years.
20 years.
My first one lasted 20 years, but the only thing about it, it wasn't very energy efficient. So I'm on my third one in 39 years, so I guess that's not too bad.
Well, in 20 years, I've owned my house for 20 years, and I've just had to replace mine 2 years ago for the first time.
And you're talking $12,000-$15,000.
Yeah, mine I spent about $10,000.
He got a good deal on his.
On mine.
Very good deal. I paid 12.
So your water heaters,
Oh, yep.
that'll be another thing. They don't last forever.
I get about, what, 8, 10 years, usually 12 years, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna say. I mean, I will guess. I think I've only had to replace mine once in the 20 years I've had my house. It was about $1,500 at the time to replace it. I've read people have paid $2,000.
I paid $2,200 last year to get mine replaced.
Yeah, it just depends on what size tank you want to get.
30 gallon, 50 gallon. How big your family is.
Yeah, how big your family is.
You get a big family, you want a 50 gallon, because everybody's taking showers and whatever else.
And there's the tankless.
Oh yeah,
Tankless water heaters.
Yeah.
And
I've heard good things about the tankless.
so, I mean, there's all kinds of options, and it just depends on what you want to pay, how much you can afford. Another one is a pool. If you have kids, and yeah, pools are fun, and a lot of people, they'd love to have one, but they are an expense.
Yeah. You got to consider liability insurance too.
Your insurance will be more, your water bill will be more,
Yeah.
your electric bill will be more, because you've got to run the water pump. From what now granted, I may be wrong, I've never owned a pool.
Me neither, and I don't want one.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want one from just people I know who have had one and they've had issues with cracks in the pool.
Oh yeah, the ground shifting out here, yeah, the cracks, yeah.
Running their water pump in the pool, especially during the winter time to keep the water from freezing, so their electric bill is higher. So that's, pools are another expense, and from what I understand, they don't add really a lot of value to your house.
No, it's more liability, I think,
But
and expense.
another thing is sprinkler systems. If you have one of those, to me, I have one. I never use it, and now it doesn't work anymore anyway.
I don't have one, and I don't want one.
They do cost. It does seem to raise your water bill if you want to run your sprinkler system and have a nice green lush yard.
Not in Texas.
Yeah, if you live in Texas like we do, and the heat dries the grass out pretty fast, so you'd have to water fairly often.
A lot of times you end up replacing part of your line because the grass dies off.
So we talked about a long-term expenses like we like that pool maybe, or a AC system, which isn't very often. Do you want to replace your carpet or your flooring eventually? Maybe not. But if you buy brand new, you won't need to worry about that for quite a while.
True.
Insulation, do you have plenty of insulation in your house, in the attic? Sometimes when they build a house, they'll do the minimum amount.
Yeah, mine, they did a minimum. In my back room, they put no insulation on there. They didn't realize I was gonna climb into the attic and check.
So that's another thing you might eventually down the road want to consider to help save on your electric bill, or to keep your house cooler or warmer. Do I need more insulation?
They won't last forever. You'll have to get up there and add a little to it because it'll kind of degrade a little bit.
Another expensive repair that could pop up: foundation work.
Oh Lord, yes. And one thing you gotta worry about when you foundation like slab work, if you get it done, you gotta take into consideration those pipes that are in that concrete are gonna move, and you're gonna probably end up with some plumbing issues, which I did.
Yeah, if your foundation over maybe the course of 20 years sinks or raises due to the ground movement from droughts or tons of rain and flooding, your house is going to move up and down.
I figure you got thousands of pounds of weight sitting on that ground out there, so that'll take a lot.
Yeah, so it can be expensive, and like he said, let's just say over a 20-year period, then your house moves maybe a fraction of an inch each year, and then after 20 years, it's off by maybe an inch and a half to 2 inches.
If it's that much off, you got some serious issues.
And let's just say your pipes that are in the ground, over 20 years, they move along with that foundation because you have pipes in the foundation. And you're okay, but let's just say you have to have foundation work. They come in, jack up your foundation to raise it 2 inches, and you're all of a sudden moving that
Fast.
Water pipe or sewage pipe 2 inches in a day.
Yeah, otherwise it was a gradual move. Now you're popping it back.
I've heard that can cause some plumbing issues, and the foundation companies are not responsible for that.
Nope.
That'll be, if they come in, fix your foundation and it causes plumbing problems,
That's your problem.
then you've got to get a plumbing company in to do those repairs.
Also your landscape. If they have to pull up stuff, like they pull up bushes and replant them, they kill them.
Mm-hmm.
I lost about 6 or 8 bushes, had to replace them.
I mean, they'll do the best they can, but sometimes it's not unavoidable.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just one of those issues,
So,
unfortunately.
so anyway, yeah, those are issues that Dawn and I have faced owning a house.
You're learning from our experiences, we're getting some ideas.
But I will say that I've enjoyed my house. I don't regret buying it. There's something also before you buy, you might want to consider how long are you going to plan on living in it.
True that.
Because a house will tie you down. You can't just up and move like you do in an apartment. You have to.
If you put it on the market, how long is it going to be on the market?
Yeah, then you've got to worry about selling a house and trying to get rid of it before you can move. So, do you want to be tied down to a house? You know, if you're a young couple and you just have kids and you start them in the school district, then you may want to stay here in that district for at least the 18 years or so, maybe, that they're in school.
Yeah, that's why I wanted my son to stay in the same school.
But if you're single,
I wouldn't. If you're single, you don't need a home.
I mean, I'm single, and
He used to not be single.
but I bought the house anyway, and like I said, I don't regret it. But there are times that I wish that maybe I didn't have it, and I could just up and move and go somewhere else a little bit sooner, and not have to worry about what condition is the house in, is it ready to sell, you know. things you need to think about.
Yeah, this, you know, it's something to think about, especially you try about to get you a good budget going and see if you can actually afford it. Because you don't know what the unexpected items that just pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So, hope this did y'all some good.
So, like I said, we're just trying this out, and
Passing on some of our personal experiences from a couple of old dudes.
yep.
Y'all got any questions? Just leave them in the comments.
Yes,
We'll be glad.
just-
We'll reply back to you.
To the best of our knowledge, we'll reply back with what we've experienced.
What you've experienced.
There might be a lot of stuff we don't know. You know?
Oh, yeah, I don't know
So,
everything.
you know, we're not experts, but
When I was young, I knew everything. I'm older now, I don't know jack crap.
so anyway, I hope that maybe
Hit a like.
gave a little insight to home ownership.
Give us a thumbs up.
Maybe you've had some experiences you'd like to share. Give us a comment, and
Subscribe too.
Like Don said, subscribe, like on our channel, and we appreciate any support that you are willing to give us.
Well, we do. We thank you a lot for watching all the way to the end. And all we can say is peace, love, and hope.
All right. Until next time.
Bye. Bye. That wasn't too bad.
Okay. We'll try.